Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It's Sunday morning. What is today? It's July 27th. I was about to say June. July 27th. How y'all doing? What? What's the matter? You got no audio?
No, you're back.
I'm backwards. That's what I was. Oh, that's interesting. How am I backwards on there? I'm fine on here. Well, isn't that interesting? We're trying out a new system, so maybe no, don't mirror my camera. Turn off the mirror. There we go. How's that? Now I should be facing the right way, everybody. There we go. We're going to swing this around. How's everybody doing? We're trying out a new computer today, so everything's backwards. Let's try that again. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? We couldn't see the live feed until we actually went live. So welcome to another Cruise Chat Live. I'm clearly your travel advisor, not a technician anymore in video production, even though I used to do it for 32 years. But how's everybody doing? Good to see you. It's July 27th. If you're new to the channel, we say welcome, and we invite you to like, share, subscribe, do all the wonderful things that all the social channels like for you to do. We're going to be here for about the next hour or so answering your questions about all things cruising, cruise related, and all of that. So how's everybody? Oh my goodness, we got a whole bunch of people already here. Let's see, what do we got? We've got Eric, Sue, Matt here, Norma, Annette, Blue Rose, Mimi, Sherry.
You're echoey on TikTok.
Phil and Sue. I'm echoey on TikTok. Well, I don't know what to say about that. I might be coming through on that particular microphone over there. Sorry, guys, if I'm a little echoey.
Actually, it sounds
TikTok.
better now.
Okay, so Peggy's here, Leslie Ann's here, Benny's here. Man, there's a whole bunch of y'all. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. I just got back from a week of training in the cruise capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio. And I finally got to go to Ralphie's house. I was so excited. I finally got to Ralphie's house. I'm a huge fan of A Christmas Story, and I was just so excited to see Ralphie's house for the first time. It really is a hoot. And I was told this was like the perfect time to go because, you know, once you get to Christmas time, there are lines out the yin yang just waiting to get in the house. So if you are a fan of A Christmas Story, definitely encourage you to go check out Ralphie's house, the Bumpus's house, and of course the gift shop and everything else. So much fun. So much fun. I was in Cleveland from Sunday to Friday, and it was a week long of training with my fellow colleagues at KHM Travel Group and upwards of 100 of our travel partners. And it's so important to do things like that because, you know, I get FaceTime with the partners. I learn about all of these new options or maybe new ways of working with some of our suppliers, and just certainly meeting a lot of new suppliers. Two in particular that I met up with. One, it's just going to completely change the way that we can do your pre and post cruise in Europe, or even just setting up, day trips and things like that in Europe. Just absolutely amazing partner. And then we're going to be, I got a day trip partner, actually. Partner where I can just set up day trips. So let's say you get off the cruise ship at 8:30 and your flight's not till 5:30 in the afternoon. We could actually set up a day trip where you can just go do some local exploring. Then at the end of the trip, they're going to take you right to the airport. So things like that. So just so much. And it was great to actually see Cheryl from Silversea. She was just on our show 2 weeks ago on Thursday night, and there she was. So it's just really, it's really cool. It's a lot of time and financial investment for us, and we do this at least twice a year with our KHM colleagues. I go up to Cleveland at least once a year, and then we're going to be meeting up for our Crystal Conference again in February. So we do it so we can bring, better information to you, better vacations to you. And it's just always so great because I learned so much, not only from our travel partners and from our KHM leaders, but just from all of our fellow colleagues. There's a lot of sharing going on. And what was really cool this time, for the first time, some of us agents actually gave presentations. And man, I learned so much from my fellow colleagues who gave the presentations. I did a presentation on video production. That was a lot of fun, helping my fellow agents create better videos. So that was a heck of a lot of fun. So good morning, everybody. First question is, what's your next cruise? When and what is your next cruise? I would love to know. And of course, if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop them in the comments. And if we can help you, our services are truly 100% free to you. Wherever you're watching me right now, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you are, there are links in the description, or just reach out to me at where'swaltertravel.com. So yay, Stacy is going to Alaska. We just got back. We did 17 days total in Seattle and Alaska on the Oceania Riviera. It was absolutely amazing. Stephanie was here yesterday, and we were planning our next cruise, which is going to be Star of the Seas. Stephanie and I are going to be roomies for the first time ever. We're so excited. We made dinner plans last night. We made entertainment plans last night. We're going to see Back to the Future. We're going to see Soul, the ice skating show, and then Torque, the water show. Oh my gosh, can't wait to do all of that. So excited. Hey, Terry is going to the Mediterranean in September. Love it. Nene's going to Mexican Riviera next April on Brilliant Lady. We will be on Brilliant Lady in September and October. So excited. Sue and Phil going to the Med on the Oceania Marina in just 5 weeks, sister to the Riviera that we all sailed together. It was so great to finally meet you, Phil and Sue. Looking forward to cruising with you guys again in the future. Ooh, look at Bill's fan. He's doing the Greek islands on Odyssey of the Seas in September 26th. Wow. We're going to be talking a lot about Greece in the coming weeks. I'm getting a little bit of a closer relationship with Celestial Cruises, which is based in Greece. It's a family-owned cruise line down there. And if all y'all remember John DiOrio, who used to be with Virgin Voyages, he's now with Celestial. We're going to be talking more about that. So very cool, Bills fan. Annette is doing Bermuda and Eastern Caribbean 25 days until you leave. Yay! That's awesome. Eric is getting ready for Alaska as well. 26 days until he gets a 10-day cruise up in Alaska. I'm telling you, folks, if you haven't been to Alaska yet, wow. Alaska is still, even though it is getting a little bit, overdeveloped in some ports and it's a little bit over-commercialized in some ports, it is still an absolutely gorgeous destination, especially if you're going on the smaller ships. We like ships that are, plus or minus 2,000 and down. But no matter how you get there, you're still going to have an amazing time up there. We were on the Oceania Riviera. It was only 1,200 passengers. Previous to that, we were on the Sapphire Princess, which is around 2,300, 2,800.
I thought it was just around 3,000.
Right around 3. Okay, it's right around
but
3.
I'm not entirely sure.
Can't remember. Sandra is going to Hawaii in November. That's amazing. Hasman, 3 weeks from today. Oh, another great cruise, leaving for Athens, then getting on the Sun Princess for the Mediterranean. So that's a really great point, Hasman, that you bring up, especially for folks who live in North America. If you are going to Europe or you're going any place where you've got to make a long flight, and let's just say it's a 7-day cruise, make plans to spend some time on one end or both ends of the trip, because it's a long flight to get there. So don't just fly there, do a 7-day cruise and come home. Try to add some more time. I like to add some time at the beginning, kind of like what Hasman is doing there, where you can acclimate yourself to the local time, because it's a big time difference when you go over there. So when we go to Italy in October of 26 on our group cruise, we're actually going to fly in, I think 5 or 6 days early. We haven't actually booked the flights yet. So we're going to spend a couple days in Rome. Then we're going to spend a couple days in Venice.
Flights aren't really available yet.
Yeah. And then we're going to hit Ravenna. So we're going to spend some time, staying there. Oh, and then Hasman said they're going to stay in Rome for 5 days after a cruise. That's the way you do it. It's a long flight. So take advantage of the fact that you're already there, because it's a lot cheaper to do multiple things with one set of flights than to fly back and go back and do those things the second time. So that is really the way to do it. We've been doing more and more of that. And like I just mentioned at the top of the show, we now have a European partner where we can just simply say, hey, this is where our clients would like to be. This is what our clients would like to do. They will literally schedule the whole thing from picking you up at the airport, taking you to the hotel, doing all the things you want to do, taking you to the cruise ship, and then on the back end, picking you up from the cruise ship, taking you back to the hotel, doing all the things you want to do, and then dropping you off at the airport. So this is just, I'm so excited about this new partnership with this company. And actually, it's not new to KHM. We have so many suppliers. We have something like 350 suppliers we can work with. And it's just one of those things where I saw them, didn't really pay attention to what they do, but now I do. Stacy, your flight is at 5:30 p.m. How early should we leave for the Seattle airport after the cruise? That just depends. So it depends on a couple of factors. Is it a weekday or a weekend? Weekdays, you're going to be running into rush hour traffic. Two, are there any sporting events going on? Because the football stadium and the baseball stadium are basically side by side.
And the airport is about 30-ish minutes from the cruise port. So you got to factor that in. Yeah.
So, I would probably leave no later than 2 hours before your flight. No later than 2 hours before your flight. I like to arrive at the airport 2 hours before my flight because I would rather be there and get through security and then just relax at the airport than, wondering if I'm going to make it. So if that was me and I had a 5:30 flight, my target would be to get to the airport at 3:30. So, but it's at least 30 minutes to get to the airport from Seattle. So yeah, I love that. User 249 wants to know how was Alaska. It was absolutely amazing. What we really learned this time was that like Juneau and Ketchikan have really, because so Juneau, Ketchikan, Skagway, those are your big three, if you will, of the port stops up there. And we stopped in Juneau and Ketchikan, and man, they were really built up from the last time we had been there. And in fact, Juneau felt a lot like a Caribbean port. There were so many there was literally Diamonds International. There was all these diamond stores and this, that, and the other. And if you really want to see the real Juneau, you've got to get way off the beaten path and go see it. Ketchikan was still cute. It was still a lovely little town. It had a lot of its characters still there, but even there, diamond stores and this, that, and the other, it felt a little bit more Caribbean-ish than Alaska. It was when we got off the beaten path. We went to Haines, Sitka, Klawock, Icy Strait Point, which isn't so much off the beaten path anymore, but it's still, kind of its own little thing. And then Wrangell. Those 5 small stops just really felt like, being in Wrangell for the 4th of July. There's not much to the town but a main street. And they were all in on the 4th of July celebration. So that was really cool. So I think we got a really nice, for the 34, 36 guests that came with us, we got a really nice, authentic Alaska experience, I believe, by being able to go to some of those smaller ports. So you got the experience of the bigger ports and everything they have to offer, but then we also went to some of these smaller places that, quite frankly, a lot of cruise lines just don't or won't go to.
Or can't because
the ships are too big. Yeah. You got to have smaller ships to get into some of these places that are just spectacular. So, but and Oceania was a great host. It was their big ship, 1,200 passengers. So yeah, Alaska was beautiful. Started out rainy for the first, 2 to 4 days. And then once we hit Hubbard Glacier and the sun came out, that was it. We had beautiful sunshine for the rest of the time. And the weather, the temperatures were fabulous, were absolutely fabulous. So yeah, it was amazing. And I've got so much more footage to post from Alaska. And of course I did the zip line in the rain. If you haven't seen that yet, the video, you're on TikTok. So I've got the video on TikTok. I've got it on YouTube. So absolutely amazing. So yeah, Carol had about 10 weeks until the Lalita Loca October group cruise, which there is still space on that. Let me go ahead and put up some of these group cruises. We've got a bunch of group cruises still booking right now. So Lalita Loca, there it is. Put that up there. If you want to cruise with Tony and Jenny B in Canada and New England, there is still room on their group. That's October 11th through the 18th, sailing on the Enchanted Princess out of New York City. That's round trip New York City. We do have a group hotel in Times Square. However, the group rate has now ended, but we did set up a group shuttle from there, so you could always hop on that shuttle from there. But Enchanted Princess, round trip New York, Newport, Rhode Island, Boston, Massachusetts, Portland, Maine, St. John, New Brunswick, and Halifax, Nova Scotia. Only one sea day, so there's only going to be one day of activities on the ship, just because there's only one sea day. And but the Tony and Jenny B did set up a group dinner for every night in the main dining room for those who want to join in. Now, if you'd like to do something different for Canada, New England, we are doing a very unique cruise on the brand spanking new Virgin Voyages Brilliant Lady. So this is why we're not going to be with Tony and Jenny. We're going to be sailing out of Quebec on October 13th on a Canada New England cruise on the brand
October
new
3rd.
October 3rd. Excuse me, October 3rd. I'm speaking so fast. We're going to be sailing out of Quebec on October 3rd on the brand new Brilliant Lady from Virgin Voyages. So we're going to have a Canada-New England cruise. Start in Quebec. We go to St. John's. We go to Halifax. We go to Eastport, Maine. We go to Boston, Massachusetts. Now, St. John's, Halifax, and Boston, 12 hours, 14 hours in Boston. So you have time to go have dinner on land if you want to. But then the ship is going to reposition, and we're going to come down the eastern seaboard. We're going to hit Charleston, South Carolina, 12-hour port stop again before we finally end up in Miami. So all told, this is a 13-night cruise from October 3rd through the 16th. Now, the prices had recently just really dropped, but I looked at it today. There's been a run on the ship. A lot of people have been booking at these new rates. I want to say the only balcony left is the Central Sea Terrace for about $3,600, which is amazing. This is 13 nights. All of your meals are included. Your Wi-Fi is included. Basic Wi-Fi is included. The gratuities are included in that $3,600 price. Your soft drinks are included, and the group exercise classes. So $3,600 for 2 people for 13 nights, and all of your meals are covered. Your soft drinks are covered. Your gratuities are covered. Your basic Wi-Fi covered. So if you want to join us, all I can say is don't wait, because the ship is closed. This ship was had a lot of inventory just 2 weeks ago, and now suddenly it doesn't have a whole lot of inventory because everybody is jumping on. So the Brilliant Lady, October 3rd through the 16th, 2025. So you got 2 choices for Canada, New England this year. If you want to join a group, you can go with Tony and Jenny B, October 11th out of New York City, or you can join us on the Brilliant Lady, October 3rd out of Quebec. So it's going to be absolutely amazing, and I hope you all join us. And since I'm on group cruises, I see questions. I will get back to the questions in a minute. We're going to Italy next year, and we would love for you to join us. We're going to be on the Celebrity Constellation, which is one of their that's actually their smallest ships in the fleet, right at 2,000 passengers. We're going to start in Ravenna, which is about 3 hours outside of Venice. It's the Venice port for the big ships. We're going to go to Split, Dubrovnik, Kotor, Messina, Salerno, Portofino, La Spezia before we end up in Civitavecchia. So it's a lot of ports basically going right around Italy. And that's going to be October 23rd through November 2nd, 2026. We still have group rates. Our group rates with the Wi-Fi and the beverage package in some cases is cheaper than the price without. So we still got very, very good rates on that one. We don't have that many staterooms left, but we still have them. So October 23rd through November 2nd, Best of Italy and Croatia on the Celebrity Constellation. And then if you want to stay on the ship, Rebecca and I are going to stay on the ship, and we're going to do a transatlantic crossing. There's a 15-day transatlantic crossing from Civitavecchia over to San Juan, November 2nd through the 17th. So that's a total of 25 days on the ship. One of the reasons why Rebecca and I are going to fly in 5 or 6 days early to Italy so we can spend some time in Italy before we get on the ship. So yeah, so that is that group cruise. That's going to be October 26th. If you want to go to Hawaii, we're going to Hawaii in February of 2026, February 4th through the 20th on the Emerald Princess. This is a round trip from Los Angeles. This is kind of like doing a transatlantic cruise without doing a transatlantic. It's a round trip. You get 10 total sea days, 5 days going to Hawaii, 5 days coming back. It's going to be amazing. We go to Honolulu, Hilo, Kahului, Kauai, and of course Ensenada on the Emerald Princess, February 4th to the 20th. We've got a really nice group forming up on that one. So if you'd like to come join us on that, the rates are good. Yes, Princess Plus and Premier have changed, and we can talk about that. And then, of course, Philadelphia, we have well over 200 people joining Tony and Jenny B on the very first cruise that's going to sail out of Philadelphia in 20 years. April 16, 2026 for 7 nights. The Norwegian Jewel will go to Bermuda. We'll go to Charleston, South Carolina, and we'll come back to Philadelphia. Bermuda is an overnight stop. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you want to join us for any of those cruises, I went kind of fast. Just go to where'swaltertravel.com and click on group travel. We have all of our groups listed right there. So now back to your questions and comments. Phil says that the smaller towns in Alaska made it a great trip. I'm telling you, those small towns, if you can find, that was an eye opener to us, just how cool those smaller towns, Haines and Sitka, and all of that was absolutely amazing. So Brandy wants to know, welcome back from Cleveland. Did I get to see the city any? Didn't get to see a whole lot of the city. We stayed at the Hotel Cleveland, which was awesome because it is literally next door to what used to be Higbee's department store in the famous movie, Christmas Story, but is now Jack's Casino. Kind of a shame. But so we stayed right there. So we did a lot of walking around. We hit Mabel's Barbecue. We hit Pizza 216. Went over to the the Lake House for dinner, and some other places right in that area. So I love the Hotel Cleveland. It's like 100 years old or something like that. What a cool little building. And then, of course, I went to Ralphie's house. So that's really all I saw. We went past the baseball stadium a few times. But I'll be back next year. They're having it back at the Hotel Cleveland next year, from what I understand. So I will be back next year, and we'll go out and do some other things next time. But Cleveland is a great little spot. I really did enjoy that. Stacy, getting to downtown Seattle hotel about 7 p.m. before Alaska cruise. Space Needle at night or other ideas? We never went to the Space Needle. It was just something that wasn't really on our list, although I know the view is beautiful. We did.
And frankly, if I was going to do the Space Needle, I would do it in combination with the Chihuly glass garden exhibit museum that's right next to each other. I would do the combo of the two.
Yeah.
From what we've heard of people who made it to the Chihuly Gardens, it was on our list. We didn't get there, but they said it was amazing.
Yeah. So at night, one of the things that we didn't do, there's a ghost tour and an underground tour in Seattle. So that would be kind of cool. Where I'm not sure where you're staying, but I will say Vaughn's 1000 Spirits was a really great dinner at night. And then Elliot's Oyster House was also fabulous for dinner. We were within walking distance of the public market, and we did that on purpose so that we could get to the public market pretty easy. And there's just a ton of restaurants all up and down the sea area over there. But we did a food tour. We did a coffee tour. We did, there is an evening boat ride that goes out into the canal. It's like a sunset version of that ride that we took or something like that. So we did one of those boat rides out into the water. So that might also be an idea. Nancy is excited for Hawaii. Whatever you do, it's going to be fun. Carol, do I have any details for the group dining? It's just in the main dining room. I believe it's like 5:30 each evening in the main dining room. Jenny just requested a section. So Princess had blocked out a bunch of tables each evening in the main dining room on the Enchanted Princess.
So you would just show up at 5:30.
Yeah, you would just show up at 5:30 in the dining room
and let them know you're with the lovely.
And Tony and Jenny
group.
B will have more information for on that when you guys check in too, because you'll be checking in on the first day. So, but yeah, just let them know that you're with the Lalita Loca group, and they'll direct you. Darla wants to know, any plans to do a group cruise with Explora, maybe the Alaska journey? Would love it if they did a Hawaii journey. So yes, there are plans to do a group with Explora. We're kicking around a couple of ideas. I've been in discussions with Explora. We're also talking to Silversea. Want to set up a group with them as well. So yes, all I can do is say stay tuned. I have two particular ideas for Explora. I did ask about Hawaii. They're not saying anything right now beyond Alaska, but stay tuned. We have Ship 4 is now on sale. So we just need to keep an eye out. But the ship is going to be on the West Coast. Explorer 3 is going to be on the West Coast. She's doing Alaska. So what does she do after that? We're going to find out. So yes, stay tuned for a group from Explora, a group from Silversea, and Christmas markets in 27. Those are all coming. Just can't say when yet. Rick says the underground tour is great. Yes, I really wanted to do that underground tour. We ended up meeting up with DCL Duo. We were going to do the underground tour on the day after the cruise, but Sam and Brian, the DCL Duo, I forgot that they live in Seattle, so we ended up having a lovely dinner with them.
Well, and we had lunch with some friends we had met on another
cruise.
That's
right. We had lunch with some friends we met on a Panama Canal cruise. So so it ended up just being a day of hanging out with people instead of doing the underground. But next time we will definitely do it. So hey, Scott, how you doing? Let's see. Brian, you and your wife are going to Cabo on Royal, leaving Thursday. Can't wait. That should be a lot of fun. Awesome. Anytime you get on a ship, so exciting. Cheryl wants to know, did we try the mini donuts and Icy Straight? Did not. I did try some amazing hot chocolate, though, in the Oh, the whole shops and all of that. In Icy Strait Point, you know, there everybody kind of like hits that area where you first get there, and then there's the green gondolas that kind of take you both ways. But if you walk all the way around to the very end, would I believe is an old canning factory. That is where there's some really cool little shops and things in there. And I had some amazing hot chocolate in there. I did do the zip line though, and I highly recommend the zip line to everybody unless you have a bad back, because that stop will hurt you. If you have any issues with your neck or your back, don't do it. The ride itself is spectacular, but I would be afraid of that ending really messing you up. It is an abrupt ending. There's no other way to sugarcoat that.
And obviously pregnant women don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch my video, you will see it. It's beautiful because you're basically sitting on a swing chair. So it's a really nice ride. You know, it's not like your typical zip line, you know, where they hook you all up and you're all like, you know, in the harnesses and all that. I mean, you're harnessed in, but you're harnessed in on a chair, which is really, really nice. But boy, that ending is hard. It's a very hard ending. I'll do it again, but that ending is hard. So yeah. Good morning, Jen. Oh, well, there we go. Jen, we were just talking about, we met up with a friend in Seattle. It was Jen. That was so much fun getting to see you, Jen. So happy to see you guys. I mean, it's been years. So that's one of the things that I love about cruising. We met Jen on a Panama Canal cruise. And gosh, that was years ago. And we stayed in touch.
2010.
Yeah, 2010. And we stayed in touch all these years. And Jen happened to be in the Seattle area, and we had a chance to actually meet up. So it is one of the things that I love about cruising is the friendship that we make and the people that we get to see. So yeah, that's awesome. Scott had a good time on the World America. That's awesome. Hey, Nurse Tara, how are you? Good to see you. It's been a while. We're going to finally meet you. So Nurse Tara has been a client of ours pretty much almost since the beginning. We've not met, but in September on the Brilliant Lady, we're finally going to get to see you. I cannot wait to meet you and Bahar. I hope I'm saying that right. To meet the two of you on the ship. We're going to be on the 5-night Bermuda sailing of the Brilliant Lady, September 10th.
And hopefully you made your dinner reservations, because that opened up at midnight.
Hopefully she got my automated email that reminded her. We try to get those automated emails all out there. So yeah. By the way, Cheryl asked about the mini donuts in Icy Strait. I will say one of my favorite finds in Alaska was actually that Alaska Fish House next to the lumberjack show in Ketchikan. It was 3 different pieces of fish. We had halibut, cod, and salmon fried to perfection. So good, which is really good. That was a neat find. We wanted to go to the Alaska Crepe Company. Now, Tony got a beautiful day. If you want to see the Alaska Crepe Company, go see Tony at Lolita Loca. He had a beautiful day. He had the crepes. We understand they're amazing. We had a very cold and rainy day, and there's no place to sit. So we went to the Alaska Fish Company. But if you want to see it, Tony will definitely show you how amazing it is. So yeah, the Nurse Tara booked her dinners at 1 o'clock in the morning. And that's how you do it. That is the way to do it. Hey, Silver Librarian, how are you? Good to see you guys.
Although I want to say, because I woke up stupid early, and I had already made my dinner reservations at midnight, but there were still reservations, plenty of reservations still available.
Awesome.
So I think they've really done a good job of working on their dining system.
So Virgin Voyages has, completely revamped their app, predominantly for Windows. Like for iOS, there's a brand new app out there. For Android, we're still using the old app, but they've updated it. So what used to happen when you tried to book your dinners is the dining reservation system could not split tables. So if there was a 6 top and you wanted a table for 2, the dining system could not figure out that 6 top could be broken into 3 2 tops for 2 people. The system on the ship could, but not the system in the app. Well, now they've completely revamped the app, and supposedly on our travel agent side now as well, where the system can now split those tables up. So there should be a lot fewer people who can't make reservations. Now, you still may not make reservations at the times that you really want, but, our landlord is here. We have the best landlord in the world. He's amazing. So he's here to take care of something. Eddie. Oh my gosh. So amazing. We got so lucky. Anyway, so the new system that you guys are booking with Virgin Voyages in your apps should now allow people to not be shut out of reservations. Again, you may not get the time you want, but you should be able to get all the restaurants you want now through there. So very excited about that. Hey, Padres, Princess Cruiser. Yeah, we love Princess Cruiser. So let's talk about the new Plus and Premier. So first of all, if you didn't see the news, Princess changed their Plus and Premier package like they did about a year or so ago. As predicted, I predicted this when they changed it. So about a year ago, they changed Princess Premier from $80 to $90. Very clear they wanted to get to $100. They just didn't want to do it in one shot. Now they have managed to do that. So if you have already booked Princess Plus or Premier before the changes took effect like 3 days ago, you don't have to do anything at all. Your package will remain exactly the same. If you want the new benefits of the new packages, then you will have to pay the difference between the old package and the new. But if you already have Princess Plus and Premier and you don't want to make any changes to it, you're happy with the package with the way it is, you don't have to do a thing. That package will remain in place. It's only if you want to get the newer benefits. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, they took things away. I actually got a chance to talk to Brett about that last week while we were in Cleveland, my Princess rep. And he said, look, people weren't taking advantage of the desserts. People were not using the fitness classes. People were not using, there's something else they took away. It's like all the things the juice bar. People just weren't taking advantage of the things that they took away.
And I will say, when we were on the Sun Princess, I had juice once, ice cream twice, and never did an exercise class. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so the guests were not taking advantage. So when you hear all these people saying, "Oh my God, they're taking things away," I would like to ask them, "Did you actually use any of the things that they took away?" I had one dessert on the show.
You had more than one.
I had more than one. Oh, okay, maybe I had two. I didn't really have that many.
Yeah, I mean, I had
because they weren't
I'm
that
sure
great.
You had at least two.
Yeah, they weren't that great, to be honest with you. So I just didn't bother. But the things that they did keep. So the Princess Plus now has 4 casual meals. For me, instead of doing that, it would have been nice if they said 1 specialty and 3 casuals. But I get it because the specialty dining is getting kind of overflowing a little bit. Now, the big change that they made with Princess Plus is that all drinks count towards the 15 drinks now. So it's not just 15 alcoholic drinks, except for coffee and tea. They finally walked back the specialty coffee and tea do not count towards the 15, but your sodas and your alcoholic drinks count towards that overall count of 15 drinks. Soda, mocktail, and cocktails all count towards the 15 drinks. But you can have all the specialty coffee you want and all the extra teas that you want. And then, of course, with the Princess Premier, they just basically took away of it. What did they add for Premier? Did they add anything for Premier? I can't think off the top of my head if they added anything. So
I know they made it specific so that you can only have 1 specialty dining per meal. So you couldn't have 2 lunches and 2 dinners in the same day.
Yeah.
You can only have 1 lunch and 1 dinner.
Yeah. Some people were like doubling up on specialty lunches and specialty dinner just because they were unlimited in Princess Premier. But now they've set it up where you can only book 1 dinner per night and 1 lunch per day.
Not that they do a lot of specialty lunches on Princess.
But Silver Librarian saying that you saw a lot of people with the desserts on the cruises. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're going to see people with the desserts. But when they look at the percentages of the people, let's just say 25% of all the people with Premier took advantage of all the things of the desserts. And it's still 25%.
And even the people who took advantage of the desserts did it maybe, once or twice per cruise rather than
excursion credit. That's it, Becky. They added shore excursion credit to the Princess Premier. And that's something that people will use a lot more than the desserts and the fitness classes and all of that. So that was actually a good add. So, but it is, and Brett is just one of those guys that I absolutely, he gives it to me straight. And that's one of the things that I love about Brett at Princess. He doesn't try to sugarcoat anything. He doesn't try to give me marketing BS. He said, the numbers just showed people were not using them. to the extent that they're worth leaving in the package. They're just useless things in the package. So that's why those things came out. But the shore excursion credit, you are absolutely right, and you get more shore excursion credit depending on the length of the cruise. So yeah. So Carnival Corporation is not doing anything at all in terms of quote unquote nickel and diming. That's all up to the individual cruise line. The individual cruise lines are all run autonomously, and they can all make up their own minds as to what they want to do. I think the Princess Plus and Premier are still the two best paid packages at sea. You can look at Celebrity, you can look at Holland America, you can look at all, Carnival, Norwegian Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean. There's nobody else that offers a paid package that even comes close to Princess Plus. I mean, Holland America's Have It All Plus is the closest one, but even there, you've got to book it, so far in advance. You got to book like at least, I think, 9 to 12 months in advance just to get that package. Whereas Princess Plus, you could order, you could book a week before the cruise and still get it if you want to. So, I get what some people are saying about the nickel and diming, but you can't say Carnival Corporation is doing any of this because all the cruise lines are their own autonomous silos and they can all do what they want.
And like you said, even at the increased price, it's
still a great deal.
It's still less than most other cruise lines drink package alone.
$70 a day for Princess Plus, $89 a day for the drink package on Carnival, up to $120 a day on the Royal Caribbean, or $69. It's usually like $69 to $120 on Royal Caribbean for a drink package, and all of that. So, people can just make up their mind what they want to do. We're still selling a ton of Princess. I still highly recommend Princess just because the package, $70 a day, is still really low, especially when you have your gratuities are already dropped in there, your Wi-Fi is dropped in there, and you get a drink package in there for the same price, or actually less than a drink package on other cruise lines. So yeah. So yeah, Jen, I think you're right. It's smart that Princess is tailoring the packages. If things aren't being used, don't just leave them in there. That's kind of the way I look at it. So yeah, thank you. But hey, Maynard, how are you? Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining in. Being a shareholder in Carnival is actually a good thing because then you get your $100 onboard credit. Stacy, you booked Premier on the Alaska, so happy not to stress over it. Yeah. I've had a couple people reach out about the Premier. In fact, I booked one client on a Princess cruise literally the day before all these changes came out, and he was happy he gets to keep the package the way it was before. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, don't stress over the changes. The last time it was more of a big deal because the last time is when they made the change where Princess Premier basically went unlimited. And if you wanted unlimited, you needed to step up. This time it's like, well, all the unlimited stuff is still there. Took a few things away. We had a shore excursion credit. So, but the good thing about cruising, there are a lot of options out there. And if you're unhappy with Princess, you're unhappy with Carnival, go look at Celebrity. You look at Virgin Voyages is an excellent option as well because there's so much included in those. But when you really start to price things, that's when you're going to find that, okay, Princess, even with that extra money, is still a better deal for the most part. If you want all of those things, if you want Wi-Fi and you want a drinks package, it's still the best deal out there. It's still even better than Norwegian. Because Norwegian kind of does that 150 minutes of Wi-Fi, and then you've got to purchase. Plus, the gratuities are not in. There's not many packages that have gratuities anymore.
Specialty coffee isn't in their drink package.
Specialty coffee, specialty dining, you get like 1 or 3 meals, something like that. So, yeah, you just have to kind of weigh it. The Premier is good for people who are really. I think the Premier is best on the Sun and the Star, just because they have so many restaurants on there.
And that is why it costs more on that ship. Yeah.
But even on a 7-night cruise on any of the other, because you can go to each restaurant twice, that's 6 nights out of a 7-night cruise. So I would even, personally, I would probably get Premier even on a 7-night cruise because I could easily go to Sabatini twice, Crown Grill twice, and then the seafood restaurant twice. And I'm still going to come out ahead.
Yeah, as long as you're on a Royal class ship and up. It has all 3.
Yeah, so...
makes less sense for our big long Hawaii cruise because that's a lot of days.
So Maynard had never used a travel agent before. I'm the first. Yay! Hey, welcome to the Travel Agent Family, Maynard. We will show you how it all works. It's amazing. Every one of my clients will tell you how amazing I am. Not every one of them. No, they won't. They won't. But no, our job is to help make your life a little bit easier. And as I always say, look, we don't charge a thing for our services. We have those direct connections, like what we've just been talking about Princess, and I got all my information directly from Brett, my rep. It was so great to sit down and chat with him. He's so awesome. And that is one of the things that a good travel agent will bring, is those connections with the cruise lines, with the travel partners. We try to introduce some ideas that maybe you haven't thought of. We just try to make your life a little bit better. Now, are we perfect? Nope, we're not perfect by any means. We do make mistakes from time to time. We do miss things from time to time, but we do our very darndest to bring you the best vacation and to bring you the best support that we can. If something slipped by, we do our darndest to make up and make sure that we take care of the situation as quickly as possible. See, Tony and Jenny say I'm great, so I must be great. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Now, Tony and Jenny are two of the nicest people you will ever have the opportunity to meet. I hope you all get a chance to cruise with Tony and Jenny B sometime. I do have those group cruises. In fact, I'll flip the banners up while we're chatting here, and I'm taking more questions. But yeah, so here's a great question. For a family of 6, is it better to get a suite or separate rooms? Well, the answer is yes. So the answer depends on what kind of a suite are we talking about, what ship are we talking about, and then how does it balance out? Of course, you really want to have 2 bathrooms if you got a family of 6. So if you've at least got a full bath and a half bath in the suite, that's going to be really big.
And not every suite will be able to take 6 people.
Yeah. So there are very few ships at sea that have a 6-person suite. For the most part, we would break that up into 2 rooms. And what you will find on a lot of ships, you'll see like these big suites that have a second cabin. That's a connecting cabin, and it's for that very reason. Now, on Norwegian, some of their older ships actually have bigger suites than the newer ships, where they have a couple of suites that were designed to connect together and turn into like a 3-bedroom suite. So it really depends on where you're going, which ship are you going on, and how does it work out? I mean, how does it shake out? What is the bedding configuration too? Do you like the bedding configuration that comes with the 6 people in one room? Maybe you don't.
Because a lot of times 2 of those people are sleeping on the sofa in the living area.
Yeah. Or there might be bunk beds for 2 people. And so can they do bunk beds and things like that? So, hey, you're done, Eddie? Thank you. Appreciate it. Eddie's the best. My landlord, he's the best. Love him. So what I would say, Remy, is to set up an appointment with us. We'd be more than happy to take a look at the particular situation you're looking at, the particular ships, the sailings that you're looking at. And one of the things that we try to do is, maybe we find something that you weren't even considering. We've done things where we've put like 3 balconies all side by side. You open up the balconies, and now you've got this big, beautiful balcony, except on Norwegian Cruise Line. Norwegian Cruise Line refuses to open up the balcony. So keep that in mind if you're trying to stack up a bunch of people. Don't know why. They say that it is a fire hazard, which technically it is, but they all have firewalls built in. So, but yeah, just set up an appointment. Where's WalterTravel.com, or you're watching me on TikTok. There's a link in my link tree on the profile. Set up an appointment, and I'll give you a call, and we'll talk through your situation, because the answer is yes. Depending. Import NGL will open them, but what's the point? Then they're going to close them back up. I had one cruise on Royal Caribbean where we literally had 10. We had, I think, 3 junior suites and then 7 cabins all lined up, and they opened them up, and it was like this massive balcony. Everybody could just kind of walk back and forth and hang out. So instead of like going out into the hallway, that was kind of like you're connecting. So that's really awesome. So if I'm going to have the balcony open, I want it to stay open. So it's just really, really cool. So, look at all the nice words I'm getting over here on YouTube. Thank you guys for all the kind words. We try our best. I right now, It had been Rebecca and I for the past 2.5 years alone. And now we've got Corey, who is our first associate agent. And I have another associate agent that will be coming on in the next couple of weeks. You'll get to meet her soon. You've already met her actually in some of my stuff in the past. But she's going to be coming on in the next couple of weeks. So we're going to have 2 associates, and that's just going to help us bring you even better service. They're both kind of going into their own little niches. And that was one of the really cool things about going to Cleveland this past week. I met a couple of my fellow agency owners who have multiple folks working under their brand. And it was really cool to learn more about them and how they do it and all of that. So that's going to help me even set up my business even better for you guys. So we're not perfect, but we try very, very hard. I work anywhere from 80 to 100 hours a week. It's way too much. I know that, but it is what it is. One of my fellow colleagues pointed out that I'm apparently the number 6 agent as of this week in the entire KHM travel group. So I'm very proud of that. Very proud of the work that Rebecca and I have done. So we try our best to do our best. And I think the thing I'm most proud of, you talk about Tony and Jenny B recommended us. Tony and Jenny B recommend us. Our dear friend Stephanie at the Shauna Steph channel recommends us. And of course, Peter over at Cruise RX and Gary Bembridge with Tips for Travelers. I mean, he's like the number 1 guy in cruising. They all recommend us. And what I'm most proud of that is I've never asked any of them for an endorsement. They've all come to us and said, hey, we like what you're doing. We'd like to partner with you. And to me, that just speaks more volume about what we're doing than if I had approached them and said, hey, would you guys like to form a partnership? They actually came to us, and we're actually setting up another one right now with another British duo that we're going to be setting up. So it's nice that people like what we're doing. We try our darndest. We're just excited sending all of y'all on so many trips. And we really love it when we're on a group. We get to meet you. For some reason, all y'all are more excited about meeting Rebecca than me. I don't know why, but you are.
I don't know why either.
It's because they don't see you. Because they don't get to see you. They see me. They see this all the time. They got me. I'm the pretty face on camera. Mm. And then she's just off camera over there. Yeah, I like that. Did you hear that when I said I'm a pretty face on camera? We have so much fun. I hope you all appreciate that we do actually have fun with what we're doing. I mean, we work hard, but we have a lot of fun with what we're doing. And it's so exciting when we get some of the comments back from y'all when you get back from your trips that you guys had a great time. And especially when we find something that you weren't even considering. Cindy says because she's a mystery. Yes, she is a mystery.
I don't particularly want to be seen.
Right.
Mainly.
Right. So I do my best to make sure she is seen from time to time because she's a huge part of the success. There's no way that I'm this successful without Rebecca. So there you go. And Eric said we are fun on a group cruise as well. So Eric, I mean, we're going to be hanging out for 16 days going to and from Hawaii. I can't wait. Eric is booking some killer cruises right now, by the way. He just booked an awesome one to Asia. He's got a killer Panama Canal trip coming up. Eric is really... You want to find some really cool cruises, and Eric is a solo cruiser. So Eric is finding some really nice nuggets out there that he's coming with. I think Eric is really leaning into the extended voyages. I'm telling you, extended voyages are so awesome where everybody else is getting off the ship, or you just find these longer voyages. It is so nice to be on a ship, 14 days, 20 days, 22 days, things like that.
I am so looking forward to doing another back-to-back in Europe because we haven't done one since our very first cruise.
Yeah, we've never done a back-to-back in Europe, so we don't know exactly how different
Europe.
it is. Yeah, we've never done Europe. So yeah. So user 24074 is asking why. I assume why is she not on camera? Because she doesn't want to be. So I'm not going to force her to be on camera. Not everybody wants to be on camera. So speaking of being on camera, boy, you're going to see a lot of me on camera starting August 31st when Stephanie has this whole list of things. She was like going through all these things she wants to do. That is going to be a hilarious cruise. It's going to be an absolutely hilarious cruise. August 31st for 7 nights. It is the inaugural 7-night sailing of the Star of the Princess. Star of the Princess, Star of the Seas. There's Star Princess and Star of the Seas. I can't even keep straight. You know, cool. There was a cool video that just came out of Star of the Seas going underneath the bridge. Apparently, the funnels can retract. I think there's a 10 feet or something like that. So she could get under that particular, like there's certain bridges that they knew she was going to have to get under, but she's too tall. So they made the funnels retractable, which was actually kind of cool. I love that. Do I know if the Carnival Firenze has affogato? Oh, that's a great question. I don't know. The Venezia and the Firenze. Anybody who had been on the Firenze or the Venezia, I just said it. Do you know if they make affogato? They better. Those are Italian cruise ships.
We do want to try.
Yeah. We, you know, the Venezia is right here in Port Canaveral for half the year. So we do want to go over there and try her out. That's a great question. Has anybody been on the Firenze or the Venezia and either ordered or noticed if they have an affogato? They better. They better. That's a great question, because maybe I won't go if they don't. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate it. Mimi says they love the back-to-back cruises. The airfare to the ports is so high for me, so you try to make the most of the cruises. That's a great point, right? You know, you're paying, especially for North Americans going to Europe, you're paying a lot of money to go over there. So at least package a few extra days in you know, pre and post. Maybe do a land tour. I've got multiple clients that I sent. They did a river cruise on Uniworld, but then I also set up a Trafalgar land tour. So they ended up being over there, I don't know, about 20 days total, but it was a whole land tour and then a river cruise. You know, why not? You do it all at once, because there's only one set of airfare on both ends of it, which was great. So yeah, that's a great point, Mimi. Aura, thoughts on the MSC Seascape coming to Galveston in November? We sailed her. We sailed the Seashore. Yeah. We sailed the Seashore, which is her sister. Yeah. Seascape is the newest one. Great ship, gorgeous ship. Absolutely wonderful pools on her. I think the rooms within the categories are slightly larger than the rooms, you know, in a lot of the other cruise lines, especially the bigger ships. It seems like they're making the rooms smaller. We just had a question about affogato. Amazing affogato and amazing coffee throughout the ship.
Pizza was good.
Pizza was really good. Specialty dining was very good. And of course, the yacht club is next level. Now, where MSC still has issues is consistency of service, consistency of included food. The main dining room can be absolutely amazing, and then just like the worst food you've ever had the next night, no rhyme or reason. The service can be what I call indifferent. You know, we're very used to, especially from an American audience, we're very used to the crew being a little bit like just eager to please, over the top. What can I do to make your vacation better? On MSC, you will run into pockets of people that they couldn't care less if you're having a good day or not. I couldn't care less if I help you or not. I'm just going to walk by. I'm not going to make any eye contact. I just want to get by you. It's odd, a little bit odd. I understand that the World America, they've made a real effort to really train that crew to offer that above level service, that, you know, try to be more consistent. There's a lot more food option. That is the other thing about the MSC Seascape. There's not a lot of food option like you're used to on the other ships in terms of included food. 0 24-hour options, right, except maybe room service. Yeah, so you got your main dining room and you got the buffet. That is your included food. There's no, like, you know, pizza joint, little quick service Mexican, hot dogs and burgers. There's none of that. It is the pizza that's going to run late into the night, like midnight, 2 a.m. They do like a late night buffet kind of a thing. So that's very different for an American audience that has gotten used to the big family ships having like at least 3 or 4 options beside the main dining room and the buffet. You don't have that on there. World America, you do. They finally made that change. It will be interesting to see with this big push. I mean, MSC made it very clear last week they are going nowhere. They are going to be building in North America. They aim to be the biggest cruise line in North America. They're the 3rd largest cruise line in the world right now. They will be the 2nd largest pretty soon at the rate that they're building their ships. Even with Royal building as fast as they're trying to build, MSC will be the 2nd largest cruise line in the world sooner than later. So they are, you know, they are staking their flag in North America now with that massive Miami terminal, and expect that they are going to be sending their crew back in for training to take care of some of these, what I consider deficiencies and what I consider issues Now, anytime I book somebody on MSC, I do lay out these caveats. And pretty much everybody that I booked on MSC had come back. They booked another MSC because you can't beat the price. They loved the ship. They love the pizza. They love the coffee. The entertainment is getting better. They're revamping some of their entertainment. So as long as you go into MSC, and MSC I think has the best private island because it's just a beautiful natural paradise. So they're not building. They're assisting with the renovation of that terminal because that's not going to be an MSC terminal from what I understand. I believe multiple cruise lines are going to use that terminal. It would be nice if MSC was only going to have that terminal, but it is good that they're investing in the infrastructure there. I understand parking is still a problem at Galveston, so hopefully Galveston is going to expand on that, especially since now you have another Disney ship coming back over there. But I think MSC is one of those cruise lines that you have to try it and see it for yourself. For the price, you can't beat it. There's nobody. They're lower than Carnival on most of their cruises, so you cannot beat the pricing. So I think everybody should try it. Everybody needs to understand what you're getting yourself into when you go on those ships, but they're beautiful. We've been on 2 of them so far. We've sailed as what I call regular sailors. We did not do the yacht club. But if you get into the yacht club, I can put you in the yacht club very often for the same price as a Royal Caribbean balcony or junior suite. And you're getting your 24/7 butler. You got your own restaurant, your own lounge, your own pool area, your own
drink packages included,
drink
Wi-Fi's
package
included,
Wi-Fi's included, and with the drinks and the Wi-Fi included, it's still cheaper than, most Royal Caribbean and Carnivals without the package. So yeah, MSC is a very good deal and they're getting better to work with. Phil and Sue, so they noticed that on Oceana, the crew went out of their way to greet you. They really do. Eye contact, asking you how you're doing, and actually sounded, whether they cared or not, they sounded like they cared. And that is something that you get, especially on the smaller ships, on the luxury ship, because you really get to know the crew. And we were on there for 12 days, so we really did get to know the crew. On MSC, I saw very little of that. I saw a lot of eye avoidance. I just saw a lot of, you ask a question and it's like, you just kind of get this little answer and then they just walk on. They don't want to make sure that you actually know where you're going. So, Bobbins is saying that on August 13th, you're doing an Azamara Scotland intensive cruise. Oh, I'm very, very jealous. Wife is very excited. You love Azamara. So it's Scotland cruise. Is that where Shetland is?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, boy, if you stop in Shetland. Oh, we watched a murder mystery show called Shetland. Azamara is a fabulous cruise line.
Those intensive cruises they have are amazing.
They changed the name because I think the word intensive kind of like made people think, oh my God, we're going to be doing all this. Just intensive meant that they're focused on Scotland or they're focused on Italy. If you are looking for itineraries that nobody else has out there, or you really want to get in and explore some of these destinations, because the Azamara ship is only 30,000 gross tons. It could fit in Central Park, any of the Oasis class or Icon. You could literally drop the whole ship right into Central Park. That's how small it is. It's only 670 passengers. They have itineraries like nobody's business. They really do. They have some of the best itineraries in the business. The only thing people complain about is the bathroom, because the shower is ridiculously small and they did it the wrong way around, where the human stands in the narrow end of the triangle instead of the wider end of the triangle. But over a 17-day cruise, I probably spent an hour in the shower. So who cares? Yes, the rooms can be a little bit small. The crew is fabulous. The food is actually pretty good. And the captain was over the top. So, yeah.
I definitely think it's worth trying their specialty restaurants. But since you have to pay for them, I'm not sure I would do them a second time. But it's worth trying to see what you think.
Yeah, I don't know that we would pay for the specialty restaurants are $50 per person. I don't think they were worth $50 per person. That's the big difference between Oceana and Azamara, that Oceana includes all of their restaurants, whereas Azamara makes you pay for the specialties. The other bit of a cluster, just so you know, and you should know it because you said you love Azamara, but with Azamara, you can't pre-book your dining. You have to go directly to the theater as soon as you get on the ship. That was a bit of a cluster the day we did it, but you know what? That was the biggest cluster.
We were also on a holiday sailing that was full.
Yeah. So, okay.
I mean, you can pre-book a package. You just can't pre-book the actual.
Marcel is asking, how is the food on MSC? It's very up and down. Specialty dining, very good across the board. No problems at all with specialty dining. Buffet had a good variety. Things that were good were really, really good. Things that were off were just, they were okay. Main dining room went from like some of the best prime rib I've ever had to one of the worst meals I've ever had on a cruise ship. I mean, literally on the same cruise. And I've told this story, but that particular night in the main dining room, everything that I picked on the menu, my server went, which made the whole meal hilarious because I love it when I have an honest server. And, finally it was like, well, what about this? And she's like, yeah, you can get that. Like they messed up pasta on that particular meal, right? This is an Italian cruise line. They messed up the pasta. The pasta was not that good. But the night before, we had one of the best pasta dishes I've ever had on a cruise ship in the main dining room. So the food is very up and down. The pizza, pretty much amazing. They make great pizza up in the buffet.
I had one day where it was a little undercooked, but other than that.
They have homemade burrata and homemade mozzarella on the buffet, like one day out of the entire cruise. So the food is very up and down. If you're in the yacht club, the food is mostly good. And then if you go specialty dining, the food is mostly good.
And unless you're really, really particular or have a lot of special dietary needs, you're not going to go hungry. I mean, there's food to be had.
Yeah, you will have food. So
may not be exciting, but you will not go hungry.
Yeah. So Brandy's trying to figure out parking in Philadelphia. For those who don't know, yes, we are cruising out of Philadelphia again, starting in April 16th to be exact, of 2026. We will be on the ship. It is the Norwegian Jewel. I'll put that back up on the screen over there. But so you're trying to figure out the parking in Philadelphia. Can you park at cruise parking, leave the car, and go to hotel? So there, if you look at the Google Maps, if you Google Philadelphia Cruise Terminal, from what I understand, it is part of the Naval Yard is where the cruise terminal is going to be. And from what I understand, they are renovating a former naval manufacturing building that will be the terminal. Doesn't exist yet. They're working on it. But when you do Google that, you will see there is a pointer for Norwegian Cruise Line parking. And it's this parking lot that is set back. Clearly, you're going to have to take a shuttle from the parking lot to get to the terminal. That's all we know. That's all we know. Do hotels offer parking?
Details.
Yeah. And I've tried to tell everybody who had booked this cruise to bring your patience pants because this is literally the first one. Expect embarkation to be a mess. I mean, just expect it. Because even though Norwegian's been doing this for however many years, the local port authority runs the terminal. The local port authority staffs that terminal. There will be Norwegian representatives there, but these are not Norwegian employees. These are all local port authority employees. So it's going to be their first time. And we've got, a 2,500 passenger ship, which is not that big relatively. Like in Florida, that's nothing, right? This is their first cruise in so many years. So bring your patience pants. And then in terms of parking, that's the best information I can give you right now. In terms of hotels in the area that are offering parking, there is a hotel that looks like you could almost walk from that hotel over to the cruise port. It is near nothing at all except the cruise port. So you could always look into that. Yeah.
And I'm sure more details will come out as probably the beginning of the year.
Yeah, because we still don't like if you look up Philly Port, I forget what they call it, but the latest information on the terminal is we're building it. That's it. Like no pictures, no nothing. So what about Cunard Cruises? What about them? They're amazing. The biggest thing about Cunard Cruises is that they still hold to a very formal dress code. So after 6 p.m., no jeans, no shorts. They like button-down shirts. Jackets are required for certain evenings if you want to go into certain restaurants. So it is much more.
Suits are required.
Actual suits are required.
The formal
certain
evenings.
Days. Yeah, I'm getting a tuxedo. We're going on our first Cunard cruise for Christmas. I will be announcing that. I haven't actually posted it yet, but we are taking a Christmas cruise on Cunard. It's what's called a distinctive voyage. So there is an included shore excursion. There is a welcome reception, and there will be a dedicated host, and that host will be me. I am a distinctive voyage host. So Rebecca and I will be more me, but she will be assistant hosting me. She doesn't know it yet until just now, but she will be assisting in the hosting duties.
Kind of vaguely
on the
mentioned
ship. And I am getting myself a tuxedo because I don't wear suits. And I was like, you know what? If I have to get something to dress up, I see Gary Bembridge in them all the time, and he looks spectacular. I'm not going to look as good as Gary does in his tuxedo. I'm going to get myself a tuxedo because I'm like, you know, if I'm going to do it, I'm going all the way. So it's going to be a round trip in Miami. But Cunard is an amazing cruise line. That is just the one caveat. And not only do they have a dress code, they have pictures, suggested pictures, pictures with suggested clothing of what you might want to wear, which is hilarious. So Cunard is a fabulous cruise line. They are the only cruise line that does regularly scheduled transatlantics all year long. They do about 20 to 22 of them every year on the Queen Mary 2. We're going to be on the Queen Elizabeth this December. So I will be making the announcement probably today. Now that I've said it on the show, I'll probably announce it. I'll announce it in our Facebook group, which, by the way, if you're not in our Facebook group, we have a private Facebook group, Where's Walter Travel. I have a public page where I post a lot of our specials. And then we have a private group where you can join in. A lot of the people who are watching today are in that group. So let's see. Nick, if you have a question, feel free to drop it in. We'll do our best. The chat is.
He later clarifies there's a lot of information. So I think probably making an appointment.
So if you have a very, very long question, then just go ahead and make an appointment. Where's WalterTravel.com. It'll probably be easier for me to answer the question there. But if you want to just start dropping your stuff in, go ahead. We'll wait till you're done, and then we'll try to answer the question. Where's WalterTravel.com. You can set up an appointment, Nick. I'll be happy to jump on a call with you to help you out. Diabetic said you haven't worn a real suit since getting married 13 years ago. I don't remember the last time I wore a suit. I know I had one on the Alaska cruise in 2008 with Dad because I got pictures of me wearing it. That might be the last time I brought a suit on a cruise, to be honest with you. I don't remember. Hey, Maynard said that they are a calm person and they're can't wait to take the train to Philly. Isn't that cool? So we do that here when we go to Miami or Fort Lauderdale. We take the Bright Line train down to the cruises, and we love it. We love it.
My mother will be taking the train into Philly.
Yeah, there you go. So her mom lives in the Lancaster area, which would be great. Bobbin's talking about the Oz Amazing Evenings. It's going to be the Red Hot Chili Pipers.
I think
that'll be hilarious.
Yeah, I think that's Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No, it's Pipers because they're in Scotland.
Oh, that's right.
They're in Scotland. That's going to be awesome. So
I love a bagpipe.
So these Oz Amazing Evenings that Bobbins is talking about on Ozamara, any cruise of 7 nights or longer has what they call an Oz Amazing Evening. They literally take everybody on the ship, you leave the ship, and you go to this event. And we did it in St. Martin, and it was this really cool local music show that was really awesome. The ship was kind of behind us. Got the whole port all to yourself. It's really cool. And then they also do a white night party. Now, their white night party blows away anybody else's white night party because it's a whole dinner. You get dinner on the, they literally clear the entire pool deck, tables on the entire pool deck, tables on the upper deck, and just this outdoor spread is so good. So yeah, so all these other people who do these white night parties where you dance and you party and you do all that stuff. No, we dance, we party, but we also have this amazing meal before we start doing the dancing. So it's really awesome. So
well, Nick did put his question in, and I have some thoughts.
Nick, okay, if you got banned from a cruise line and they keep sending casino,
the casino department is a separate entity from the cruise line.
Yeah.
However, if you're banned on the cruise line, it doesn't matter what the casino department sends you. You won't be allowed on.
Yeah.
So it's just that the casino department, the cruise line has not shared that information, obviously, with the casino people who are running that program.
Well, he did say that he's now cleared.
Okay. Well, then.
So basically, Nick is saying, like, if you get banned from a cruise line and they just keep sending casino offers, what do? You just keep calling the casino offer department until they tell you you're clear. So it looks like he's cleared now. However, like Rebecca just said, the casino department generally is a completely is a third party entity, generally on most of the cruise lines. And I don't know which cruise line it is, but on most of the cruise lines, and I don't know specifically which ones have their own casino departments and which ones don't. But the casino department in general is a third-party entity, and they have to connect with the cruise line. So that's why they're still sending you these offers, even though you may not be allowed on the cruise line. Now, if they're saying that you call the hotline and they're like, hey, you're good to go, there's no holds on it,
well,
you can try booking it and see what happens.
but he said he's booked it and then got to the terminal and they wouldn't let him on.
Yeah.
I would not trust 100% the information you get from the 1-800 line.
Yeah.
If you have a loyalty, which I'm presuming you do with that particular cruise line, try getting in touch with the loyalty people. They will probably give you a more accurate information, because sometimes the call centers for the 1-800 number don't always have the most accurate information available.
Generally, a ban from a cruise line is a lifetime ban.
No, it isn't always.
I mean, it could be. It depends on what the wording said when you got it. You know, was it a ban for a certain amount of time? Have you received something from the cruise line that says you are clear to go? Because I would be calling every cruise line on their website has a customer care center, not the people who book the cruises. You don't want to talk to them. You want to talk to the customer care center, or there's also something called a resolutions department in just about every cruise line as well. Obviously, if you were working with a travel agent, the travel agent could take it directly to our rep. We could do that. We don't work with casino offers. I don't get involved with those because there's literally nothing for us to do. There's no incentive for us to work on those. But there is a resolutions department with just about every cruise line. So you could call into. There may be a separate phone number listed for it, or you're going to have to call the main phone number as if you were booking a cruise and say, hey, I've got an issue. I need to speak to the resolutions department. How do I get in touch with them? And that's where I would start.
And
if they say you're fine, then you're fine. So I can't. So yeah,
I would feel more comfortable if they would be willing to give you something in writing that said it's fine.
Yes. Will they send you an email? Yeah. Will they send you an email that says you're clear? Because if you don't have that email or you don't have it in writing, then
if somebody's system hasn't been updated, some port system hasn't been updated, they may not. Yeah, that's.
Yep. So that's not even like if you're working with a travel agent, then you could have your travel agent reach out to, like, I would just reach out to my rep and say, here's the situation. Are they clear? And can I please get something in writing from somebody on your end that says they're clear?
And that way you would have something to hand to anybody who might try and dispute that information.
Yep. Do I have any group cruise coming up for Alaska? Well, we just finished it, Sandy. We just finished one. We're looking at 2027. We're looking at 2027.
Possibly.
Possibly. We're looking at a couple up there, but we're not entirely sure. We're looking at like May, June 2027 is what we were looking at. Initially, we were looking at Explorer and Silversea. So, but we're not really sure yet.
And it may end up being something else too.
It may end up being something else.
Our list is very long of things we want to do.
Yeah. Alex wants to know, for the Philly cruise, am I planning to offer airport group transfer to the hotel? No, not at all, because so many people are coming in at different times. So no, everybody will make their own way to the hotel. And then from the ship to the airport, you can book that through Norwegian. You know, we can just simply add that as a ground transfer through Norwegian Cruise Line. So no, I'm not.
Just have the hotel to the.
Yeah, I am setting up group transfers. There's 2 hotels that we've got in Philadelphia that we've selected, and we will set up an optional group shuttle from the hotel over to the ship. Is what we are going to set up. We don't know what the prices are yet because we're waiting to see how many people are actually going to sign up for the hotel, because the price depends. I already know that from the Club Quarters Rittenhouse, it will be a bus. It'll be a full-size bus based on how many people are staying there. From the Motto Hotel, it might be a smaller shuttle bus. There's not as many people staying there. But in terms of getting yourself from the airport to the hotel, that's on you. And then from the ship back to the airport, you can either use Norwegian shuttle or you can go ahead and arrange something yourself. My advice, because it's the first cruise out of Philadelphia, would be to use Norwegian's shuttle, because their shuttles are going to take priority. Wherever their buses are going to park, Norwegian buses are going to get priority over everybody
And
else.
as far as getting from airport to hotel, I would probably just use Uber or Lyft.
Mhm. That's what we're going to do. I can already guarantee you that. But yeah, Sandy and Coco, we have. I can
We
tell
will
you.
be back in Alaska.
Yeah, no, we'll be back in Alaska, and I can also tell you that Christmas Market 2027 is definitely happening. We're just waiting for the itineraries to drop. We just don't know which ship and which itinerary it will be. Probably AMA Waterways or Avalon Waterways. Those are the two we've kind of zeroed in on based on their 2026 itineraries. Could even be Uniworld. Don't know. Could be Riviera. But Riviera actually does this thing where they do a 5-night cruise and then you do the land extensions. And I'd rather be on the ship for longer. So yeah. You know what we totally forgot to say on TikTok, and it's been so long. We're like 15 minutes to go, but if you wanted to ask me a question about Virgin Voyages, you had to use the letters VV. We always forget that. TikTok blocks the word Virgin. That's not me. It's TikTok. So if you have questions about Virgin Voyages, use the letters VV or the names of the ships. So diabetic. Diabetic wants to know, are there services that we provide as a travel agent that can be requested separate from a commission booking? Is there a price list? No, that's actually a really good question. For those of you on TikTok, are there services that I provide as a travel agent that can be requested separate from a commission booking? Is there a price list for Where's Walter Travel a la carte menu, like for my services? I live in the state of Florida. I cannot charge for my travel services at all. We are not permitted to charge a service fee. So the answer on that is no. There's no like a la carte service, like things that we provide as a service. Now, for if you're a client of ours, like you're already an established client, you've done bookings, there are things that we do help our clients with that have no commission, but it's because they're already an established client. They have other trips on the books, or, we just know like
It's part of what they're booking.
Yeah, it's either part of what they're booking, but I have had a few clients reach out for help with hotels or a flight that have nothing to do with the trip that we booked for them, but they are already an established client and they're working with us. But no, I can't. There are some things outside of travel that I could, consult with, which is part of my, like my background, in television, film, marketing, and all of that. Diabetic, you're saying it's a tough business model. It is and it isn't. I mean, I'm going to make, just being very honest, I'll probably make the largest salary I've ever made in my career this year, just because we have been very successful. That's the thing, when you do this right, and this is what I tell all travel agents who ask me for any advice, and thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Very kind of you. If you do this right, whenever we book travel, yes, we do get paid on commission, and that's the only way that we get paid. But when we do this right, the commissions take care of themselves. We never book a cruise. We never book a trip based on, the travel partner says, you should do this because you're going to make a really good commission. I get 100 to 125 emails every single day from our travel partners. Here's a great special. You should be pushing this. Here's some amazing commission. If you do this, you're going to get an extra $100. If you do this, you're going to get an extra $50. I literally throw them all in the trash. My feeling has always been that if we do this right, if we take care of the customer, the commissions take care of themselves. So I never, ever even look at the commissions as we're going through this whole process. It's only after we actually book the trip that I go, oh, okay, that's what we're going to make. But if we do this right and we take care of you guys and you keep coming back, we're getting so many referrals now. I can't thank you guys enough. But we're getting so many, I met so-and-so on a ship, or so-and-so said, I really need to contact you. I've never used a travel agent. Maynard is on here. He's never used a travel agent. But, Tony is like, hey, you should use this guy. I get so many people saying that. And if we do our jobs right, that's what happens. We do these live streams all the time because, we get up to 40 leads a month just from these live streams. And it is a tough business model in the sense that if you don't travel, we don't get paid. If you don't book with us, we don't get paid. But if we do it right and enough people come join us for the ride, then it does kind of take care of itself. So yeah, it is it's a really tough business model getting started. once you get started, if you take care of everybody the right way, it builds on itself. Once the train leaves the station, it keeps going. And people do really help out. And I've been very fortunate that you all seem to really like what we're doing. And you've been referring us a lot. And I've got my secret weapon in Rebecca over there, who does an amazing job with research. So it is a tough model, but we try. We do try our hardest. And going to events like we just did, that was a major time and monetary investment last week. But that introduced me to our new European partner. That introduced me to our new day trip partner. It introduced me to these amazing new villas that I can rent. I mean, and I'm saying new, they're not new to the company. They're not new to KHM. They're new to me because I just didn't realize I had not been exposed to them yet. So yeah, it really is important. And then having that network of 5,200 colleagues that I can lean into and say, hey, I need some advice on this, or what would you do for this? And it's really helpful. We all give and we all receive. It is really an amazing company to be a part of, an amazing group of travel agents to be a part of. So it really is. So thank you, Mimi. Sue and Phil will be interested in the day trips after a cruise, and looking forward to hearing more about that in the future. That's a really cool thing. If you weren't here earlier, if you have like a late flight, and of course you're going to get kicked off the ship on, like at 8:30 in the morning, but your flight isn't until 5:30 in the afternoon, what do? Some people will like book a hotel for the day or something. Well, we have this new partner that will pick you up from the ship. It's a day trip company. Pick you up from the ship and take you around, like whatever. Either just leave it up to them to figure out where to go and what to do. You can have food, you can do experiences, you can go see things, and then at the end of your day trip, they're going to drop you off at the airport. So instead of just like sitting around doing nothing, all your luggage will stay in the car. They'll take you get a private tour for the day, which is actually really, really cool. So I love that. Hey, Steph. Yeah, KHM is the best. They are the absolute best. So, but yeah, no, thank you for the kind words, guys. And just thank you for all your support. Y'all have been amazing. I really didn't know what was going to happen 2.5 years ago when we started, almost 3 years ago when we started this thing. And I started with the wrong company. Quickly reversed course, and now that I'm with the right company, things have just taken off from there. So it's been absolutely spectacular. One of the coolest things is there's one particular agent who is number one almost every year. And with a lot of companies, it's very competitive, right? Very competitive. I see these people coming up, I got to do things to chop them down. But this person who had been number one, I don't know, 3 years running or something like that, she's the one who pointed out, she said, hey, Walt, you're actually like number 6 in the company right now. I had no idea. And she just, and her response was, I am so proud of you. It is so exciting to see you come up like this. And that's just the way it is. I don't really feel like I belong up there. We just happen to be up there because she's a legend, and there's so many legends in the company that are so amazing. So I'm just proud to be part of this orbit. Nurse Tara, silly question. Is there only one cruise pier in Manhattan? There's only one set. There might be a couple of piers side by side, but they're all in the same area. Now, here's the thing. Make sure that you're sailing out of Manhattan and not Brooklyn. Because there's Brooklyn and Manhattan, but the piers are side by side. They're right there next to the, what is it, the Intrepid?
I think so.
I think it's the Intrepid aircraft carrier. The ships park right in that area. So yeah. So there's a one set of piers in Manhattan, and then there's also Brooklyn. And like in the case of the Enchanted Princess, we still don't know if she's going to Brooklyn or Manhattan. Technically, Brooklyn only has one, and there's a Cunard ship scheduled to be there that day, but she's also not showing in Manhattan. So it's just kind of weird. That is the only weird thing out of there. So Nurse Tara, if you're talking about the Brilliant Lady, then yeah, I think she's sailing out of Manhattan, but we're not 100% sure yet. I think, unless it actually says it on the schedule. So
I can't remember. I want to say it does, because I don't think Virgin has ever sailed previously out of Brooklyn.
They've never sailed out of New York.
Well, I mean, they did preview things out of New York.
Yeah, but they've never actually sailed out of New York. They've never done a revenue sailing. So no, thank you, Alex. Pier 88 and 90 by the Intrepid. Yes, Cindy, there is plenty of business. The travel industry is like a $10 billion industry. there's no reason to fight for bookings. I mean, we can all help each other. That's a great point. Forking Knife Dad, like it. Perfect day at Coco Cay Water Park booking, not seeing any more at the website. If you mean in your cruise planner, then it may be sold out. There is a limited number of tickets that you can get. And if you happen to be visiting on a day when you've got an Oasis class, like 2 Oasis class ships or an Icon ship and an Oasis class ship, that's going to sell out real fast. Like yesterday, I went ahead. I was happy there was still Hideaway Beach. Hideaway Beach is not my favorite thing at Coco Cay, but Stephanie is going there and she's got some ideas for things that she wants to do. So I went ahead and booked it, and I actually got it cheaper than she did. So I was happy about that.
And you did miss
Did I miss something?
Jeff Gordon. To me, not that Jeff.
Oh,
Gordon.
hey, Jeff, how are you? Oh, not that Jeff Gordon.
I'm assuming.
Jeff Gordon,
I don't
not
know.
that Jeff
Maybe.
Gordon. I don't know. Maybe it is, but he's got a 31 next to him or something. But you just got back from Holland America Koningsdam for the first time. Was pleasantly surprised. I'll tell you what, Holland America is a fabulous cruise line. Fabulous. The ships are gorgeous. The crew, amazing. The room, it tends to be Princess and Holland are basically the closest comparison to one another. And Holland will almost always be more expensive than Princess for whatever reason. I don't know why, because I think they're very evenly matched. But the live music at night, phenomenal on the Holland America ship. The crew, amazing. The food, when last time we were on the main dining room, kind of underwhelmed us, but we understand the main dining room's got much better. The specialty dining has always been good.
You. It underwhelmed
me. Yeah, she had vegetarian meals that were very good. But yeah, Holland America, we need to get back on a ship. It's been a while, so we're working on that. But yeah, Holland America, very good cruise. I'm glad you were pleasantly surprised because they are a very, very good cruise line. That's awesome. Sorry, I missed your comment earlier.
We definitely want to get on one of those newer ships like the Koningsdam.
Yes. Darla, is there a river cruise that I recommend? Not necessarily the cruise line, but the various rivers that have cruises like the Nile, the Rhine. I mean, unlike an ocean cruise, the rivers are so different. What's really interesting as you look at the ship, as you look at the rivers, you'll notice that all the ships are different, but they all look the same. Like when you look at the ships on the Rhine, they all look the same. When you look at the ships on the Nile, they all look the same. When you look at the ships in Cambodia, they all look the same. It's because the ships are designed specifically for those rivers. Sometimes you need a lower draft. Sometimes you need a ship that can squat down more. Sometimes you need a ship that's longer to get more people because you can't make it very tall. Other times they're taller ships, very squat, so 2 ships can get by. It was really, really interesting. There is not one single river. I mean, the traditional first river cruises, the Danube, the Rhine, those are very, very popular. The Main as well. But there is no river. It is the same answer that I give with the ocean cruises when somebody says, what should I go on my first cruise? Where would you like to go? When would you like to go? How long would you like to be gone? Those are the big 3 factors that, the 3 big questions that we're going to ask you. And then that's going to help us figure out, number one, which cruise line are you going to go on and which itinerary are you going to go on? So it's that same idea. Where do you want to go? And when would you like to do it? And then could keep in mind, like Colombia now has river cruising. That's brand spanking new. Colombia for the first time. We have Cambodia, Thailand. We have the American rivers. We have the European rivers. We have Egypt. Everywhere.
And I just saw, and I want to say it's Viking, but I'm not 100% sure on this. There is a cruise line that, I don't know at what time frame, but they're going to have a river cruise in India.
Yes. India.
It's not on the Ganges. It's on a different river, but they're going to have a river cruise in India. And I am so intrigued by that idea.
Yes. So river cruising is expanding because there's too many ships in Europe, to be honest with you. And now celebrities bringing 10. Don't know why, but they are. So there's just so many options. And then there's different inclusions. And then, Viking is the one we always kind of single out because they have such a different payment policy than everyone else just for North Americans, where you have to pay 18 to 24 months out before you get on the ship. That's a long time to tie up your money. So, thank you, Darla. You found us on YouTube. Yay. And you love my honesty. Thank you. That's one of the things I try to be, all the cruise lines tell me, sell. You got to sell this. You're going to make money. It's like, if I send you on something you don't like just because the cruise line told me to send you on it, you're never going to come back to me because you wouldn't trust me. So we do try to be honest. And the most important thing that we do, Darla, is we do that one-on-one call. I have to have a one-on-one call with you because I got to find out more about you. I got to find out, well, where do you really want to go? What do you want to do? Are there things that we can set up before and after? Because as we talked about earlier, flying all the way to Europe, you're flying all the way to Egypt, you're flying to Cambodia, you're flying to Colombia. You know, the river cruise is going to be great, but then there's probably more that you may want to see before or after. And this way you just fly once and you get to do multiple things. You know, not only do we sell cruises, we sell land tours. We package together custom land vacations. So we can put together things on both ends, or sometimes the cruise doesn't work, you know, because of the things that you want to do. It's like, the ship just really isn't going to do it. So how about this land tour instead, where you get to do all the things you want to do? So yeah, so certainly reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com. You're watching me on YouTube. There are links in the description. Set up an appointment. We do like a 15-minute call, 15 to 30-minute call. Sometimes they run an hour because we're just talking. We don't realize how much time we've been talking.
Walter gets chatty.
That happens a lot, honestly, where we go at least 30 minutes. And then sometimes like, oh my gosh, we've been talking an hour because we're just having a great time talking. So yeah. So yeah, just reach out, Darla. We would love to help you. Chris is 12 days away from a Sun Princess fun ship. One or more things not to miss. So I will say the coffee bar down on deck 7, I think it is, Coffee Currents, I think it's called. That was my favorite coffee bar.
Oh,
and
right
it was,
by the
it was right on the
bottom
piazza.
level of the piazza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was always, at least when I was on it, it was less crowded than the International Cafe. For some reason, people just didn't realize it was down there. Princess Live has a lot of great, you know, trivia and all kinds of stuff going on all day. The piazza, look at the schedule for the piazza. That is the most used because it's the biggest piazza. It's a beautiful piazza. It is the most used of any Princess cruise. I mean, it basically had something going on from 9 a.m. to about midnight every single day. And what I really loved about Sun Princess, when there was something going on in the Crooners bar, nothing else was happening. The music was piped throughout the piazza. So it was really nice. It wasn't like there's a lot of things competing there. The outdoor spaces, beautiful, beautiful outdoor spaces to sit out on deck 8 or 9. I can't remember which deck it was. Absolutely beautiful spaces outside. I thought the theater was pretty cool. The show we saw was not the best. It was like Latin Heat, Latin Rhythm, something like that. But I understand they've got some of their other shows now running there. So yeah,
And
it's really good.
Personally, I would say I thought the included pizza up on the pool deck was better than the Alfredo's pizza, which is a charge.
Love the whole Lido Eats thing they've got set up on there now. So much better than all the other ships. So really good food up there. So don't miss the Lido Eats for sure. So yeah, beautiful ship. Wait till you see how they set up in port. They have this massive door that drops down on the side of the ship. It is so easy to walk on and off the ship. I love it. It is absolutely great. Nurse Tara, is brunch at Razzle Dazzle first come, first serve? That's one way. You can also make reservations for brunch at Razzle Dazzle. She's talking about the Virgin Voyages ships. You can reserve brunch at the Wake and Razzle Dazzle.
And if you're on the app, you just have to, it automatically comes up with trying to make you dinner reservations, but you just press that button that says dinner and you change it to brunch and you can see the brunch reservations that are available.
Yep. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. Yes, we did have a great time. Hi, Ira. How are you? Thanks so much for joining in. The coffee place was right beside the piazza. Yeah, and technically they're both right beside the piazza because International Cafe is up on deck 9 and the Coffee Currents was down on deck 7. Yeah, it was 7 because we were on 6. It was 7. So, yeah, always up. But yeah, and Alfredo Pizzeria was good. It just wasn't as good. The Sky Princess is still my favorite of the Princess. Sky Princess and either Coral or Island. I can't remember which one we were on. There's 2 smallest ships. Those are my favorite Princess ships right now. Yeah, I think we were on the island, but I still love my Sky Princess. Oh my God, Sky Princess was so wonderful. All right, folks, it's noontime on the East Coast. So I will remind you, I'm Walter with Where's Walter Travel. If we can help you in any way with your travels, simply reach out. Where'sWalterTravel.com. Our services are truly 100% free to you. If you want to know anything about any of those group cruises that we talked about during the show today, just go to Where'sWalterTravel.com, group travel. You can see all the groups right there. And then as we announce the new groups, I will put the Cunard Queen Elizabeth up there. We're going to be sailing the Cunard Queen Elizabeth for Christmas. So yay, come join us. But where's waltertravel.com? Reach out to us anytime. Send us some questions, set up an appointment. Again, 100% free to you. We love sending you on your vacations. And if we can help you in any way, Rebecca and I will do it. So I can't remember if I have a show coming up on Thursday. So just watch my social feeds for that. But if not, we will definitely be back here next Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. So have a great weekend, everybody. And we'll see you here next Sunday.